back to Lovin Sheila Shorts. I want to come back to you today. I want to talk about love today because, as we've been talking, I'm all about this evolving. And I visited love a few months ago. What do you know about love? And I was really starting to dive a little bit deeper into this and trying to get away from just the Eros love and trying to get into the agape. And so that's what I was talking about, just agape love and how people can love you more than just physically by, physically delighting in you or on you, but there are acts of service and things like that that can be given to kind of put love all around you. Now, that's one aspect, okay? I feel like there is so much more. There's a breadth of love. And certainly we see from reading our Bible and we see how God loved us. He loved us so much that he gave his son, and and if we read the word, we can see various areas where he's demonstrating and modeling for us how to love. And in life, you take all your experiences. So early on, I had the experience of growing up within my family and experiencing love the way we did it. And one of the things that I learned is I don't know how intentional we had the opportunity to be with our love. I know that my parents loved me. I certainly feel that. And I think even now I can feel it more because now they don't have the responsibility to care for me, to take care of me, to provide for me. So I can just see all the love. But as we're growing up in our homes, and I think what we develop, a lot of us as parents have these survival love. They have to do all the things that are necessary, and we have to protect and we have to provide, that we don't just get a chance to pour into our loved ones or demonstrate love in its purest capacity, or maybe so its complete capacity. And so, and I don't fault anyone for that because obviously we have to do what we have to do. But for me, I've noticed that once I have gone through the experiences that I've gone through and I've healed, and I saw something recently, listened to something that said, when the scabs are there, you know you've healed. And I noticed that my conversation has gone away from, dealing with hurt and relationships and grieving and so forth. And I've been able to really tackle things that are individual, things that are for our own growth and evolution. And that's where I'm focused right now. And so as I venture into this next phase of my life, it's important for me to have some critical reflection of myself, some things that I could have done a little differently, some things that I could have dug a little deeper into, and to certainly get a better understanding. And that's what I want to share with you. I decided that I was going to reread this book by Bell Hooks, All About Love. And I read it about 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, it was like a whole different Sheila. I hadn't started Lovin Sheila, the podcast, yet. I was really just focused on getting my son off to college and dealing with different things that we were dealing with within our household. But at that time, that's when my therapist started talking to me about emotional support and recommended this book. And that's when she said to me, it's vitally important. It's like at the top of the list, emotional support. And so I read it then and I enjoyed it. But now being in a different place, I wanted to read it again. And one of the things that stood out to me when I first started, they said something about emotional abuse. And so I gathered emotional support and what it means. I've gathered that. But I do want to dig a little more into emotional abuse. And that's something that um, we'll get into later. But for now, let's talk about love. And one of the things that was said in this book was really just trying to get a definition of love. Because I think oftentimes, and I definitely have been guilty of loving someone based on my feelings, being overcome with a feeling for this person and thinking, oh, I'm in love. And actually what they called that was a cathect. I've never heard that word before, but that's where you're just investing feelings. So not love, but a cathect, and it was called cathexis. So that's I guess that's the act of the verb of investing your feelings. But they did define it, and it was defined by Peck. And this is what it says. It says the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. And let's say for nurturing one's, I'm going to say soul, because I talked about that before. And the soul is the mind, the will, and the emotions. So let's say it's extending yourself to nurture another person's soul, their mind, their will, and their emotions. To that's essentially what it does. Um, so I think that's important because it is a sacrifice. When you're extending yourself, there's a sacrifice that is involved in that extension, if you will. So it's a sacrifice to support their needs, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and whatnot. So extending yourself in all these ways. So they gave that as kind of a baseline for love. And so I want to give that to you and share that with you because it is more than a feeling. It is more than wanting to be touched. It is more than just an act of service or words of affirmation. It's so much more. It's a breath of these things. BREADTH, a breath of things. And so we're going to try our best to bring it all together, a little bit of it together today, or just give us a foundation for us to continue this conversation. So, according to Peck, there are some ingredients for love. And this is what I want to share with you, and probably where I'll leave you with today. Care. And that's what we often do. I mean, I think that's where we put a lot of our focus in just care, meaning when I said I grew up and it was a survival love. I think it was because we focused primarily on caring, and caring and making sure, okay, we got them to school, we picked them up from school, they have shoes to wear, food to eat, care. But care is just a dimension of love, and another is affection, and we all need that. I guess we could say that's that potentially that era, since we're all adults here, affection, and then recognition, seeing the person and seeing them for the individual that they are, not who we want them to be or who we want to make them, but who they are, and recognizing that. I think I've grown. I'm definitely at a place where I'm recognizing that and seeing people for who they are and studying their behaviors and how they work so that I understand and am not as prone to take things personally. Because in the past, I've been known to take things personally. So now I'm just understanding this is not me. Everyone doesn't do everything like Sheila does, and nor do I want them to, because that's the advantage of having someone that's a little different from you, that sees things differently, that moves different from you. But anyway, so recognizing the person, obviously respecting the person, respecting where they are in life and what they do and what they bring to the table, and not minimizing them, and looking at them really, I think, as an equal. Avoiding the patriarchy. We'll get to that later. There's a lot to this. Avoiding just the mere patriarchy and kind of seeing, respecting them as an equal, as someone that you can work with, that you can build with, someone that we need and that we want to partner with. And the commitment is another aspect of love. Commitment to love through thick and thin, unconditionally, to love them, to stand by, to trust. Trust, that's for me, I think in this new age of my life, trust is like the baseline, like the foundation for every relationship. But it's just an ingredient. It's not the full pie. It's not the full recipe. You know what I mean? It's not complete without trust. and then open and honest communication. So these are the things that are necessary, as that are things that we demonstrate as we love. And so I guess what I want to leave with you in this short, because we don't have a lot of time today, is that these are all the ingredients that go into love, whether it is parental love, uh, um, a spousal love, I don't know, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. These things are the ingredients for love and to love properly. Now, I know there's more. We're going to throw in a lot of different things. This is just one author and something that resonated with me, but I don't want us to be myopic and think of, just our eros, our affection. We need affection. And so we're drawn to this person. They're attractive. And so we're drawn to this person. Or they're financially stable. So we're drawn from this person, because for a complete relationship, we need it all. We need it all. And I think some things will be stronger than others. And some places we certainly will fill in the gap. But I think we need to be working in this area to come together as partners and provide all of this ingredients. It's a kind of as it was mentioned in this book, as a roadmap for the journey. These things we should find within it. And if it's not there, one of the things I got caught with today, I was talking to someone and I was sharing, and they said, that person wasn't nice. He's not a nice person or something. I said, it wasn't nice consistently. And I thought about what I said, and I was like, well, if you're not nice consistently, are you nice? And, we make concessions for people that we love or people that we care about or people that we spent time with, because if we spent the time, we don't want to feel like it was a waste of time, or we were silly for spending the time. But we all live and we all grow. And as I had time to reflect on the statement I made, well, if you're not nice consistently, in my opinion, you're not nice. And me, I was just covering my wound to say that you spent time with someone who wasn't a nice person, I felt like it was a bit of a slap in my face. But we can love people. Love covers a multitude of sins. So sometimes we love people who are not necessarily nice. But to get to the next level, to get where we're trying to go, we're trying to add all these ingredients so we can have a healthy, functional relationship. Because dysfunctional, we look at it as a bad word, and it's disappointing when things are dysfunctional, but I think it really just means it's not functioning in the way that it was ordained to function. It's not clicking on all cylinders. It has some aspects that work, and then there's some that are kind of detrimental, and we might try and bypass it or sweep it under the rug. And so as we're working to get to our most evolved state, let's deal with reality and the way things are. Let's approach it, take the bull by the horns, and let's do the work. Let's dig in. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out what ingredients we need to take with us to this next level. And that's where I'll leave you with today. There's more to come. If you will, read with me All About Love by Bell Hooks. I think it'll bless you. I think it will bless you. I think it'll be encouraging to your soul as it is to mine. But if you don't read it, I'm sure I'll be reporting back on little nuggets that I have. I can't think of the word. Little nuggets that I've gleaned from it along the way. But in the meantime, don't forget to take care of yourself, love on yourself, do what makes you happy, and I'll see you on the next Lovin Sheila.